all the way back up to the ceiling into our downward facing dog. And from here we're going to do 10 up down, so moving from our downward dog forward into our plank nice and strong, and then back up to downward dog. So we're going to do 10 of those. Then on your next up down, we're going to raise the right leg as we move back into our downward dog. So we're going to kick that right leg back up, and we're going to do that 5 times with the right leg. So taking the right leg all the way back up as you move from your plank back up into your downward dog. And when you've done 5 one side, we'll then move over onto the other side, so taking the left leg up and back 5 times. When you've done all 5, just gently come down into a nice high kneel, so coming onto the knees, bringing the upper body up, placing the hands in the lower back, spiking the elbows towards the back of the room and doing a gentle back bend. We'll move into our half camel, so inhaling, taking the left arm all the way up and reaching the right hand back towards the heels, lifting that chest up, looking up towards the ceiling, and then bringing that left hand back down to bring you up, back up to standing. And then we'll move on to the other side. So taking the right hand all the way up and then taking the left hand back to the left heel, and then coming back up. We'll move back into our plank pose now. We're going to try out 5 plank birds. So when you're ready, you can see if you can raise one arm and the opposite leg and then gently bring them back down, and then do the same the other side. Give this a go, keep the core nice and strong, and perhaps try and wobble a bit less than I do. So keep breathing. Laughing is also good. And then when you've done all 5 on each leg, obviously feel free to take a rest if you need to, because this is quite a strong one. You can then move back into your downward facing dog, have a nice stretch, and then gently start to walk the hands up, walk the feet back up towards the hands, and into our standing forward fold, gently engaging in the belly and rolling nice and slowly all the way back up. From here we're going to move into our chair pose, so feet hip distance apart, hands either sides. We're going to bend the knees, bring the fingertips all the way down to the ground, and then inhale, bringing the arms up so they're either sides of the ears, and sit back in your imaginary chair, keeping the belly tucked in. Then we'll bring the hands down to the chest, and we're going to twist round, so taking the outside of the right arm to the outside of the left knee, and twisting round, looking up towards the ceiling if you like to. Coming back to centre, and we'll twist round to the other side, so taking the outside of the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And again, looking up towards the ceiling if you want an extra bit of a twist. Coming back to centre, sitting back in our chair for a moment more, and then moving into our standing forward fold, and then slowly rolling up. From here, we're going to move into our warrior 3 pose. So we'll start by taking the weight onto our left leg, pointing the right leg back, inhaling, reaching the arms all the way up. And then when you're ready, starting to counterbalance, so taking that right leg back as the arms come forward. But only take the arms forward as far as the leg goes back. So as soon as the leg stops moving, stop moving the arms, because otherwise you might fall over. And then nice and controlled and slowly bringing yourself back up to standing. Lowering the arms, giving yourselves a wiggle and a shake if you need one, and then we'll move on to the other side. So when you're ready, taking the weight onto the right leg, pointing that left foot back, inhaling, reaching the arms all the way up, reaching up through the crown of the head, engaging the belly, and then when you're ready, starting to counterbalance and moving that left foot back and bringing the arms forward. And it's nice and slowly and controlled, bringing yourself back up to standing. Releasing the arms down, giving yourselves a wiggle and a shake, moving back up towards the top of the mat, inhaling the arms up and hinging at the hips and folding all the way forward, allowing the head to be nice and heavy. Then we'll bend the knees so the palms come down and you can step or jump back into your plank pose. We're going to make our way down onto the floor. To do this in a nice strong way, you can tuck the elbows into the body and gently lower down really slowly all the way down to the floor, or just make your way nice and gently onto the floor however you wish. And then we're going to flip over onto our backs. We're going to take a nice arms overhead stretch, so when you're ready, taking the arms up and over, having a nice good stretch. And then bringing the knees into the chest, wrapping the hands around the legs. You can rock gently from side to side if you like. And then we'll cross one foot over the other, take the outer edges of the feet and see if we can rock and roll our way all the way back up to seated. You can do this as many times as you like. It's really nice for just working out the spine and also gently working out the belly as well. And then we'll move into our boat pose. So sitting up nice and tall, hands underneath the knees, gently lifting back so the feet come off the floor, taking the arms out. So the feet, as before, can either be lowered or raised up. Then we're going to take one hand all the way out, extending it out as far as we can one way, coming back to centre and then moving it out the other way. So we're going to do 10 of those on each side. So keeping the core nice and strong, lifting up through the crown of the head, keeping that chest up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing, keep smiling. And then gently lower down. Well done.